One of my recent videos was directly contradicted by a viewer's ear, nose, and throat doctor. So who's right? Well, let's get into it. I recently did a video on using a nebulizer to help moisturize the vocal folds. And a viewer let me know that their ENT doctor, one that works primarily with singers, told them to skip the nebulizer and just use steam. And this is directly opposing what I've said here. And in addition, another one told me that the vocal folds felt drier after using a nebulizer. So, time for some self-reflection. Am I wrong? Have I misled you? Well, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these your voice needs and when. First, a quick foundation. What does dry voice really mean? Well, your vocal folds need a hydrated surface to vibrate easily. And when that mucus layer on your vocal folds thickens, it takes more effort to get them to vibrate. There's a concept called phonation threshold pressure, or PTP. And that's the amount of air pressure it takes to get your vocal folds to phonate, to make sound. The higher that air pressure requirement, the harder it is to sing. Think of PTP as your difficulty dial. If you're not properly hydrated, if the mucus is thick, that difficulty dial goes up. And unfortunately, voices over 50 are more prone to this because as we age, we produce less mucus, and what we do produce tends to be thicker. Now let's address the ENT and the case for steam. Warm, moist air will certainly soothe and humidify the whole airway. It's free. You can run a hot shower, breathe in the steam. However, and this is supported by research, steam is coarser, and much of it doesn't reach the fold surface as readily as the fine droplets from a nebulizer. And the moisture doesn't stay as long. Now, it does feel soothing, and there are other things like throat sprays for singers that feel wonderful too. I use them. And I want to be fair here. Feeling great matters. You want to feel good and confident when you sing, but the felt relief and the actual effect at your vocal folds, they are not the same thing. Now, here's the case for using a portable mesh nebulizer. A mesh nebulizer for the voice is to be used with isotonic saline solution, specifically this. This nebulizer turns this solution into particles fine enough to actually reach down to the vocal folds and be absorbed by the tissue. And because that saline is 0.9%, it's a match for our own bodily fluids. And because those particles are fine enough to reach the surface, the effect is more targeted than steam. And the benefits of nebulized isotonic saline for the voice has been studied by voice researchers. And this is why I use a nebulizer every day, throughout the day. That gets on my vocal folds. Now, one viewer felt their vocal folds were drier after using a nebulizer. Couple of things here. One, they may simply have a heightened sensitivity to the saline solution. And although nebulizing saline is generally found to be safe for singers, do check with your doctor to make sure it's okay for you. And two, the solution itself may be the problem. And I want to be very clear about this. Solutions that are not 0.9% isotonic, things like hypertonic solutions, or even worse, mixing your own, will pull water out of the tissue. Get this wrong and the tool is going to work against you. I also had one person recommend using a hydrogen peroxide solution in the nebulizer, and I must tell you this as strongly as possible. Do not do this. Hydrogen peroxide breathed deep into your lungs can cause damage to the tissue. And I found out that this is an actual thing that people do. So please don't do this. So here's the bottom line, and excuse my fence sitting here, but this is not a strict either or. The ENT is not wrong because steam does solve a problem. It's just a different problem. Steam gives comfort. It gives general airway moisture. And along those lines, if you live in a very dry environment, run a humidifier, particularly in your bedroom overnight. You don't want your airways and nasal passages dried out. Plus, very dry air carries germs and irritants much more effectively than moist air. Now, on a quick buying note, there are what are called compressor nebulizers, and these are much more expensive, bulky, and loud. And they're built for a different medical purpose. You want a simple mesh nebulizer. They're portable and quiet, and I highly recommend you get a rechargeable one because they go through batteries really fast. And you can get these online for $40 or $50. I don't recommend a particular brand. I've used all types. I honestly just buy whatever's on sale. Use it for 5 to 10 minutes before practicing or singing. You simply breathe in the mist. I use it throughout my practice sessions. I use it before recording my videos and podcasts. And they're easy to clean. Most of them have a cleaning cycle where you just run very warm water through the nebulizer. And if you want to go deeper into vocal health and how to work your voice at age 50 and up, you can download my best-selling book, The Mature Singer's Guidebook, for free at the link below. And please comment below. Which do you find more effective, steam or nebulizer? Or do you find sprays that work for you? And if your doctor is telling you something different, I certainly want to hear that. So subscribe for more videos for mature singers, and we will talk soon. Take care.